Hello everyone, Bone here, and today I want to talk to you guys about how to properly manage your guild, how to be a good leader, and how to be just an all-around good group, how to get your guild off the ground. I'm talking out of experience here. I'm not saying I'm the absolute best leader, I should be in charge of BR or whatever. This is from my experience over about 10 years. 10 years I've been playing these kind of games. For the first 5, I want to say I was a grunt. I sat back, watched, always kept a close eye. I was close with leadership. I played games with family of mine where like actual real life family, where they were leaders of the guild, and I was still a grunt, but I was privy to all that conversation and everything that happened in the background. So I kind of want to maybe depart some knowledge on everyone. Hopefully something I can tell you helps. If you're wondering why your guild's struggling, well, I might be able to help out. You may find your answer here, or you might find something that works for you. I have quite a bit of things I want to go over. There's a lot of things that go into making a guild and making it successful. Anyone can make a guild. Anyone can click that button and go create guild, call it whatever you want, do this, do that, and you're just going to sit there in the water with one guy forever. You're not going to get anyone. A lot of it is a startup. It's hard to get a guild off the ground if you're just fresh coming into a game, so make sure you know what you're doing if you're planning on starting that. Make sure you know what you're doing. I'm a firm believer that leaders are few and far between. Not everyone's going to be one. Now, a lot of that stems from personal choice. You may just choose to not want to step up, but to some people that comes naturally. And they just say, get me in there. I want to do something. And, they step up. And to me, that's one of the first signs of a leader. When I choose my R4s, when I look at new R4s, I appreciate people that step up. And it isn't just for Lords Mobile. I've ran alliances on games, Ebony, the original, Age 2, The King's Return, all Ebony, Alliance Warfare, Fog of War, World War II, Lords Mobile, played some Iron Throne. I played a lot of games. I was in a leadership position in a lot of different situations, and I was in a lot of successful guilds. The guild I left on Ebony is currently number 1 in the server, and it's about a 2-year-old server. And I quit that game for a while, and I came back, and I joined one of the guilds that I knew from way back when. My guild that I had there, they were still there. They were just under new leadership. I didn't like who was in place, so I just joined a different guild. And I got a message from a few people when they noticed I was back. I was trying to keep quiet for a bit, but that couldn't happen. And they were old members of mine, some old R4s and some old players. And what the gist of it, what they said is basically, if you lead, I'll follow. I'm like, okay. So I started a new guild, a fresh guild, just me. And I said, you know what, anyone looking for a good old time, like it used to be, come on over, or whatever. And I had one guy come in, a very good friend of mine, Hydra. And he's always changed his name. I didn't know it was him at first, but he applied. I didn't even look at his power. He was like 3rd overall in the rankings after a year. I didn't even look. I just accepted him, and I'm like, welcome, man. You're the first to come. How are you? And he just loses his mind. He goes, oh my god, Bone, it really is you. Me and him took that guild to the top. We ran it back to number 4, I think it was, overall. And then we ended up merging with the number 3 before I ended up, long story, but I ended up getting banned for a little bit over stupid stuff. I'll talk about that later. But I left, and now they've taken that merger, ran with it, and they're now number 1 overall. So, to me, that was a successful venture as far as guilds go. This is going to be a many-parter video. It's going to be a long one. It'll most likely be more of a podcast, so kick back, just listen while you're playing the game. Do some hunting. Another prime example, and this is just over the last year that I've been doing guilds. Rum. Rum was a huge one. Me and Buff had this vision about a year ago that we wanted to have the top hunting guild in game. And along with his wife Skittles, a couple really good R4s that are still with us today, we took this guild and we made it what it is today. I'm not saying we as in, just me and Buff and a couple other people. No, everyone that is in this guild made it what it is today. Because there are literally, I want to say out of, 98 people, 90 of these people have been with us in this guild, in the family, for 3 months plus. Some over a year already. They love it here. They love the environment. They love what we did with it. And that's another thing. I'm going to be talking about the psychology behind it, behind running a guild. How you're going to make people stay. Because you can have 100 people join you and they could all leave tomorrow. Once you get people, you got to know how to keep them. And that's going to be a topic I'll cover later on. So yeah, we did amazing things with Rum. Buff wasn't always the R5, but our old leader was, our original, sorry. He's been R5 for over a year now. But our original leader for like a month or two, he didn't have much of a vision. He was a young guy. He brought us all together initially, and we just took it and ran with it. And, we did what we do today. We're very proud of what we accomplished in a very short time. There are guilds that have been around much, much longer than we have, that have seen nowhere near the kind of success that we have. A lot of people said we couldn't do it. We've always had haters, and we relish in it. We lavish the haters. Love all the hate we get. And we just tell people, you wait. Wait and see what we can do. Just wait and see. There are not many guilds that I know of at our might that are in Master Gauntlet. I think we finished 66 last time. I was obviously in RUR, but these guys, I believe, finished 66 overall in the world. So, that's another thing I like to say. It's an accomplishment that I'm proud to be a part of. To say that I've been able to, I was a big part of that guild for a long, long time. And so when I finally I came to branch off and I started RUR. Our goal of this guild was to double with Rum eventually. Obviously be the hunters that we are. I had a good 10 people come with me. They joined me and said, hey, I'm going to help. We'll kickstart this guild. We're about a month old, month and a week or something. And at the bottom of the screen right here, if you just look, that's our gift count just of this week, 1 week. And, we're slowly getting there. We're flying. Our gifts are growing. We're 87 out of 100 right now, but we're always filling spots. I don't care about kicking people. If you're not performing, if you're not stepping up, don't expect a free ride. That's all I gotta say. Also something I will be discussing. So, that's pretty much that. I think I know what I'm doing. We have another guild, RUN, which is our freshest guild. There's RUB, Rub. Where's RUN here? Hey, we're here. Bear with me for a moment. There. I don't know how I missed them. These are our newest crew. We took them in when they were NC, the Necromancers. And they asked if they could be a part of the family. We'd help them build up. Like, of course we can. So this was our newest venture, and they were having a real hard time starting up. Their name was, they just renamed RUN, and there's a story behind that. And this is going to have a lot to do with what I'm about to tell you guys and explain. RUN was NC, and they were having a lot of trouble recruiting. They had 44 members for the longest time. A lot of them were just alts and people that were just hanging out. No one was coming and no one was going. So it's just staying at 44 people, and we're wondering in our leadership, what's going on? You guys got this 2.5 bill guy. You got some T4. You got all these crazy looking guys. But that's it. You don't have, like, anyone else. What's going on? Mango, the R5, reached out to me and he said, Bone, what can I do, man? You made RUR and you blew it up in no time. How? Help me out, man. Just give me a couple tips. And I did. I said, the first thing you gotta do is rename. Go from NC to RUN. Be a part of the family. Because right there, that name is going to draw people in. And you know what? I'll use this to cover my first topic on how to kickstart your guild, how to make it successful. Your name. And in this case, it's the tags. But, the name's huge. For these guys specifically, the Necromancers have been them for a long time. Their original members, their founding members, Magneto, Mango, Hell Titan, and Moas, they were the OG Necromancers, so they kept that name, and that's awesome. But I said, guys, the NC thing is not working. People say, well, why are we going to NC? Do they hunt? Who are they? Or are you just sending me to some random guild? Well, see, that's where I said, here's what you guys got to do. Rename. Be like RUN. RU Necromancers. Like, it works. Names are huge. They describe who you are. The nature of the guild is huge. In this game, everyone knows the RU is associated with Rum, the best hunters in the game. And that's what people see. So when you say, oh, hey, yeah, go to RU, we don't have room, I'm sorry, go to RUN. They say, oh, okay, right away, that's a part of the family. And they don't question that. People don't question that. And that all relates, a lot of this I'm going to have to tell you over the next however long this takes is going to have a lot to do with psychology too. And that's this part here. Your name is the psychology. People look and go, oh, are you? That's a friendly name. They see that and they know it's the Rum family, the pirate family. And they go there expecting to hunt. And that's what they get. That is huge. That is the biggest thing. As far as the name goes, Necromancers. Any name you choose for your guild, it's got to be powerful. It's got to have, describe your nature. It's got to be rememberable. Necromancers is a good name. It's original as far as original goes. It's not like Necromancers for life. Life with a Y and a 4, right? It's original. It's clean. It looks good. That is good. I wish I had a better name for our guild, for Monster Hunt and War, but that's the thing. Everyone knows the RU. That's all people care about. I want to go like Reapers or something. Maybe one day we'll get a cool name because Monster Hunt and Wars, it's generic, but everyone knows the RU tag. And that's what brings people. Everyone knows the tag. Monster Hunt and War is so generic, but you know what? They know the tag. That's all that matters. Not the tag specifically, but that they know. That people, when they are replying, know who they are applying for. Because I can search right now. I'll search Rum. Let's just go all lowercase because it's not case sensitive. Wrong tab. Rum. Land of Rum. Use that. Pirates in port. We consider ourselves pirates. But, yeah. RU Rum. Monster Hunt Pirates. There you go. The hunting pirates. The guys I read about on Reddit. the guys that I seen on the Lord's Mobile forums, right? Like, there used to be a, for the longest time we had this, we laughed. The only other rum for a while was the raw underwear models. Biggest competition for the name. So, there's that. Names are huge, guys. And without a solid name, you're just, it's without a solid name, a solid tag, you're not going to be able to recruit the best. You still get new members, but it doesn't have meaning to it. Make it powerful, make it rememberable. If it's, in our case, it's a family thing, people know the family more than the guild, unless it's obviously rum, then the family name helps the most. Having that little gimmick on our boards there with the text writing, you seen that one? We got Rub, RUR, and then obviously Rum. Mine looks the worst, but, these guys are creative. So it's and that's what it is with the text art. People see that and they associate that too. You gotta have things between your guilds that people are able to associate between each other. And they can relate to that family. Jokers. We got Jokers in the Kingdom finally. Everyone knows who the Jokers are. And you know what? They keep to that tag. The RJ. Or just the squiggly line, whatever that's called. Squiggly J. Everyone knows that's the Jokers. That is the Joker family. Do not fuck with these guys. Steel Alliance. If you've been playing this game for more than a month, you know who they are. Jokers, right? Big War Guild. Pirate family. Big Monster Hunt Guild. Your name is everything. It's your roots. So that's one big thing that is going to just jumpstart everything, is you make sure you have a name. Make sure you have a name. And I guess that's going to lead on to number 2, which is going to be your hierarchy. We have these handy things, the member list. And in this member list, we have ranks. Downsize all these quick to get a little better view. You have rank 5, rank 4, 3, 2, 1. Make use of these ranks. Don't just not care about the ranks. Make use of these ranks. In our case, rank 1 are for alts, or people who have not verified kills. These are all alts right now. Everyone verifies. Rank 2, common members, are just the everyday guys that are here in the guild, the awesome people that help you every day with the gifts. The R3s are the ones that do a little more. They step above. They step above and do that little bit extra that set them apart from the rest. Or they can be members with history, good friends. This is not man in that list, but the special members. I'm not saying show them favoritism, but they've either done a step above the rest or proven themselves in the past to be worth that. Just to be a little step above, that's all. R4s are the important people. They are the ones that run your guild. R5, I'm nothing. Ignore me, I'm a figurehead. R4s are the people that run your guild. They're the ones who take care of the day-to-day shit, who answer all the mails, who deal with all the bullshit, the applicants. I consider myself an R4 because I'm still in all that. R5 is always just a figurehead. And yeah, it really doesn't have any relevance into how the guild is actually run. Most people are going to come to you first for stuff, but they can just as easily go to your R4s. And that's what most people tend to do, because a lot of people say, I don't want to bug the boss, guy's probably busy. And, we get that. Yeah, trust your hierarchy. Make use of it. You have a chain of command. You guys should have roles and responsibilities when you get established. Decide who wants to run the bank, who, vote on everything, Make everything onto a vote. Whether you should raise the kill minimum or if you want to migrate. Never, never, never. I've seen guilds ruined by this, and I will say this first and foremost: never, ever, ever think you have more power than the rest of your people. If you are an R5 and you are telling people, well, I don't like your guys' vote, so I'm doing what I want, goodbye. Goodbye to your guild. I will tell all your people, don't have anything to do with you. Fuck that guy. Selfish, irresponsible asshole. You know what? I will live by that. You need to listen to your people. Listen to your R4s. You take votes, and you take decisions as a group. Never, never overrule something, because that is a surefire way to make sure you have everyone in your guild gone real quick. Never overrule something if you're the R5. If you're an R4, never think your opinion matters than anyone else. I may have helped co-start this family, but I'm just a grunt as much as everyone else. That's what I believe. We're all in the same field here. In the leadership platform. We're all in the same field, and that is never going to change. As far as figureheads go, I'm a little well known in the family, so yeah, I'm a figurehead. It's good to have there. People will know me. But never, never, ever think you have, as an R5, more power than your R4s. You need to trust them to make the right decisions if you are gone. So if you're not around, you need to trust that they can take care of the guild, and not necessarily how you think it should be taken care of, but how they believe collectively that things should be done. On the fly calls can be made. Guild changing is no. Don't make guild changing on the fly calls. Whether you're an R4 or R5, that just it doesn't work out in the end. But there's certain things like, hey, can we hit this guy? Or, like, can I retaliate against this? Or shit like that. You know, your R4s, they can handle that. You got to be able to trust your leadership to handle, things like that. And that's what makes a good R4 is in your absence as a leader, you have other leaders, that are there to take care of things, not for you, but for the guild. And they're able to make sure you wake up and still have a guild in the morning, right? It's a team effort. And that's where the voting comes in. You all you don't have to be on the same playing field or same mindset, but you have to be in the same state of mind, and the fact where if you take a vote, it's got to be, you have to follow through with that. If you go back on something you said, you better have a damn good reason. Drop your pride. Just, you got to have the right people running your guild for one, and you have to look for that. You're off the bat day one, you're not going to find all the proper people to run your guild, in one day. My R4s, I've been with them a long time. One of them, I came from a different game. I love her to death, and she's always one of my good friends. And she's learning the game, but, I know she R4'd for me before, and I know she's an amazing leader. So I automatically gave her the R4, even if she didn't want it. But if you guys come with me from Rum, and they stepped up, a couple of them asked for it, and I asked a couple of them, and they were mostly made R4s. And I was ecstatic. They're trustworthy. I played with them for a long time. And the fact they stepped up to help me kickstart this venture was amazing of them. So thank you guys. A couple other R4s. One specifically, I was watching from the background, from the sidelines, while I was still out of the guild. I ran this guild my alt for about a week while I just messed around with Master Guild Fest for the first time with Rum. So I did that, and then I came back to R5 here. I watched her from the sidelines for a while, and the growth was phenomenal. It wasn't just a player that said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and, 5 months later, it's like you're halfway there. No, they flew. They were dedicated. They asked my advice on hunt gear, what should they invest in, gifting, worth it, like, absolutely. We're doing the pipeline soon. And the dedication there just said, you know what, I'm going to try this person out as an R4, and I have had absolutely no regrets. They've been a great asset to the team. And I'm really happy with my team of R4s now. And we're running a successful guild. I'll consider it successful. There's no complaints that I've heard of, and that's important to me. And that's where the hierarchy is. You gotta have that chain of command. You gotta have the proper people in place that are willing to step up and do extra. Like my second in command, Longbeard, he stepped up and he offered to run weekly trucks for the guild. We were doing them for a while. I headed that for a while, and I didn't have time to consistently do it, to keep it regular. And he stepped up and he took over, and that was awesome of him. So now him and someone else from Rum are heading our weekly monster trucks, and it is just great. It's awesome to see that, and that is what I love to see. And thank you guys for that. I always appreciate everything that is done for the guild. Now moving on. When you're first starting out, you're gonna have a lot of people that are just there. And you know what? Actually, I'll jump ahead a little bit. I had this little lower at the list, but I feel it should be better now in terms of starting everything. Because now that we have our name, we have our brain fart. Have our name, we have our hierarchy, our chain of command. Now we gotta fill the guild. We gotta have people in the guild. So recruitment is huge. You have to know how to recruit people. If you don't know how to recruit people, you're not gonna be able to have a guild. Recruiting, it's hard. It's slow. It takes a lot of patience. You want to make use of all your social media platforms, and that goes mostly for Lords Mobile. It has the largest community of any mobile game. It's got Facebook, Reddit, Twitter. It's got some forums. It's loaded. There's tons of sites dedicated to it. It's a huge community, 50 million people. Incredible. Tons of resources you can use to jumpstart your guild. There's different methods of advertising. You could spam dip boards, say, hey, we're recruiting. You got to know why. You got to have a gimmick. And I'll go back to that in a bit. But you have to advertise. You got to make people want to join your guild. Low numbers right away are going to kill you. If you have low numbers, everyone's going to look at that and say, well, who are these guys? It's when you start getting in the 80 plus range that people stop questioning the amount of people you have. And that goes back to the human psychology. People look at that low number and they think, oh, what's going on? A lot of people leaving? Are they like dead? What? You see that 80 plus people and you're like, oh, things look like going great. They don't second guess it. So if you have alts, or if you have friends with alts, you have dead accounts, fill the guild up, man. Fill it up. And then what you do is you recruit more people, you get rid of an alt, bring a new one in, bring a main in, get rid of an alt, bring a main in, alt, main, and you rinse and repeat that cycle until you're filled with nothing but alt, or mains. And this is proven to work. I have done this with my guild. I have assisted doing it with RUB, and we did it with Rum starting out in our old family guild, RUH, before they split off. We did the exact same thing there. And we are currently in the process of doing the very same thing with RUN, and it's all working. Now, this isn't like 50 alts, no. It's like maybe like 10, 15, the pad, then a little bit of numbers that you got to make up. Don't go out and make new accounts, because that's just not going to work. You got to make the guild look appealing. You got to make people want to come. Make your board flashy. Make it look decent. Make it look clean, neat, organized. You want to have your requirements there, what you're looking for. Basically just that. List your family. You don't have to throw your allies on there or your naps or anything. The only people I need to know that are you. So that's a big thing to that. You got to know how to recruit. It's slow, it's hard work, but it'll pay off in the end. And when you put that hard work in, you get it returned back to you from all the work that the members put in for you. That being said, you're not always going to get good people. Dead weight is huge. That's the number 3 thing I'm going to cover on. In my opinion, events are everything. They prove performance, dedication, willingness to spend time on a game for a higher purpose. That's great. Not everyone takes this game seriously. That's great. You can join another guild. We're serious. Non-performers don't get a pass because they hunt more or they have a massive might or a kill count. They don't get a pass. If you don't perform in events, if you don't do anything, if you don't even put in an effort, I don't want you. I don't want you at all. I want a team player who's not just trying to sit there and get free rewards. That's what I look for in people. Might's just a number. You can be a Bill Might and I'll still boot you for getting 0 on Guildfest. If something happened, your grandma died, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm not heartless. You'll get a pass for that. But both your grandmas died 2 Guildfests in a row. Sorry, mate. I don't like excuses. If it's continuous, it's garbage. 2 in a row is basically, well, you're on the chopping block. Never be afraid to boot people, and that's what some people don't see. When you have 100 people and only 75 of them are actually doing anything, why are you just letting people leech? Doesn't matter how big they are. People are going to respect you more than the fact that you're trying to just get rid of the people who aren't trying to contribute. It's dead weight. No one wants dead weight. Who wants to carry around dead weight all the time? So when people say, who's this guy? Like, why is he just 2 billion might and just sitting there, doesn't do anything, doesn't join rallies? Just get out of here. I got no time for you. I want people that are going to join rallies and do everything. As much as might is just a number, there's liquid versus useful. You could have a 600 mil guy, and he might just forget the shield 1-9, all of a sudden he's like 200 mil. He's got all troops, no research. You don't want that. And people like that, they just blow $1,000, spam a ton of troops and say, oh, everything's okay. Well, no, it's not, because you're losing millions of might every other day. Why? Just stop making liquid might and start putting your money into some more important stuff. So that's a huge thing. All around, just don't be afraid to get rid of people. I don't want to say everyone is replaceable, but non-performers are definitely replaceable. You're gonna be a lot better off having a 40 mil might account that hunts 20 monsters a day, gets great, amazing scores every Guildfest and every KVK, and participates in Dark Nest rallies and all the events and everything like that, compared to a 800 mil guy that's getting bored of the game, is barely online half the time, and doesn't do this and doesn't do that. Why? What's the point? You got all that power just to look at it? Okay. If you want to look great, that's awesome, but you're going to drive people away. Get rid of the dead weight. Get rid of the people that don't want to do anything. If you're not dedicated to the game anymore, just quit, bro. Get out of here. Guild's got no time for you. And that's a huge thing. That's going to move on to our next topic, is the rules of the guild. Lines, the cross, borders. Make them known. Discuss with your leadership what the ground rules should be. what's bootable, what's warnable, what you would automatically boot someone for. Are you okay with a little bit of drama? You want no drama, period? Everything like that. What you can talk and chat. People get offended nowadays, so it's ultimately everyone else's choice whether you decide to talk about certain subjects. I don't like it. I prefer a friendly environment where no one's gonna get offended. I don't get offended easily. I got a dark humor. I'll laugh at the worst jokes. But you know what? I want the people that are coming in to feel comfortable, to feel like they, it's a good environment. And I don't want people, get a good player or something, all of a sudden he gets offended because someone made a gay joke. Everyone else can be like, oh, whoop-de-doo, but he can take that seriously, and I don't want that. I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings. I don't want people's feelings getting hurt being a part of our crew. Not that I care about people's feelings that much unless I'm the one hurting them, but it's, it's important to make people feel welcome and to make people feel that, they belong and they want to stay there, and it's a good environment. That's important to a lot of people. So I'm more than happy to provide that for them. I don't mind shit talk. If you want to go line, make an 18 plus chat or something, I don't care. You want to go banner in there, send some dirty memes or something, go ahead, enter at your own risk. But that's it. Be clear about things like that. Don't show any favoritism. If you got an R4 that steps out of line, kick him. There's no excuse for that behavior. And as in R4, it's a part of leadership. They have that responsibility to, is that the right word? They have that, losing the word here. People look up to them. And they need to be that better role model. Because if people look at their R4s just getting away with murder, everyone's going to think they can. And that is not the case. The R4s I have, they're good people. I would never expect any of them to step out of line like that. If they're having a bad day, I get it. And, they say that, and they'd say, I'm sorry if I'm being rude. That's awesome. But they never set off on someone. They never lose their shit over something stupid, and I appreciate that a lot more. And it's great. But at the same time, I would never show favoritism. I would try not to, at least. And if I do, I'd appreciate it if someone tells me. I'll sort that. That's what people gotta learn, is just because he's your best friend in real life, it doesn't mean he gets a pass over 99 other people, or 98, that are not fucking up. So don't give anyone any free passes because you like them. So there's 100 more people in this game you can like that'll actually do something. You like the rest of your guild. Why are they so special? It's just a game in the end. If you lose a real life friend because you booted them from a guild in game, then that's a pretty shitty friend to have in the first place. So don't show any favoritism when it comes to enforcing your rules. If people notice that, again, back to psychology, it's all about knowing your members. People notice when favoritism is shown, when people are getting special treatment. And I don't want that. I don't want to give anyone special treatment. Some people I would love to, but I don't want to, because that's unfair to everyone else. And I guess, and all that, you got a guild. Moving on, we covered the name, the hierarchy, how to get people to your guild, and how to make sure, and how to get people out of the guild, I guess, specifically when it comes to dead weight. Don't be afraid to boot people that aren't performing. Then we covered the rules and lines and borders of everyone in the guild so far. So now this is what you're going to get people to stay. How are they going to stay? What is going to make people stick around and say, I want to be here? And I love this guy just talking smack in World Chat. Long story short, old member of Rum, he got all pissy because he thought his mate should excuse him from hunting because he was a badass killer and loved to war and fight and burn, so he thought he had an exemption from hunting. Wasn't the case. He was pretty pissed off, and now he just spends his days bullying little people in our guilds. It's cute. So yeah, how are you going to make people want to stay? You gotta have a future. Future is what you want. What do you want to be? What are your goals? What do you want to do? What are you looking to accomplish? Do you want to be top contenders in Guildfest and KVK? You want to be a weekend guild? You know, it just has fun, has no rules, just shoots the shit and gets nothing done. You know, they don't care about event scores and not an as serious guild, I should say. Not a weekend guild, but not as serious as the rest. But do you want to be that serious hunter guild, the war guild? You want to join a family, you want to try and get into, like, Steel Alliance or something like that. You have a gimmick? I know there's not much gimmicks as far as Lords Mobile goes, but everyone's got to have a gimmick. Ours is, if you slay, you stay. A motto, kind of, I should say. Goals. You know, why'd you make a guild in the first place? Look at that. What was your intention? And you got to stick to that. When me and Buff started Rum a year ago, we said we want to be the absolute best damn guild we can be. And we want to make it where the guys where everyone doesn't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to be contenders. And we felt the best way to do that was through hunting. And that's why another one of our mottos is hunting is, like, we coined the phrase, even though everyone uses it, hunting is the backbone of a successful war guild. And it's proven so far. We've done with Rum. We've run our first ever double rally with Rum just earlier this week, and it went phenomenal. We zeroed someone, pretty 600 mil guy, zeroed him about 300 mil. That was a good day. That's why we started RUR. First of all, we needed another guild to fill all the recruits, because we had a swath. Every guild fest, we have a swath of applicants. So we needed another guild to take in those applicants, but also to fill the purpose of rallying with Rum, our main guild, and pulling off those doubles and triples and whatever we have to do to make sure that we are the fighters that we promised we're going to be one day. We're hunters first, fighters second, and we're getting there. But that's it. You got to make sure that you know why you're doing what you're doing, what you're trying to do, what your goals are, what your visions are, and make that known to your members. Remind people why you're doing what they do. Give them an incentive to work hard. And that's a lot of it. Just make sure you know where you want to take your guild in the future. You want to be in the Master Gauntlet. You want to just hang out and have fun. It's huge. And yeah, if you want to keep people, you have to. It's a tough thing to talk about without having a specific situation. And we're going to try and talk about just the psychology in general of it. As a good leader, you got to know what pushes people's buttons, and not in a negative way, but what makes people's gears turn. Why people choose to work for you, to put in that effort, why they're choosing to stay, why they're choosing to join. It's a huge culmination of things. Appreciation goes incredibly far. It really does. And, you know, being in the workforce for a long time, I wish, you know, my bosses appreciated me more. I probably would have worked a little harder. And that is a big thing. They say that all the time. And people want to be appreciated. People are going to want to, you know, hear thank you. You know, hey, I just got zeroed trying to help our, you know, member out, trying to help our buddy out. You know what, man? Thank you so much for doing that. Thanks for stepping up and putting in the effort. Like, here's some resources. Heal yourself up, man. And, like, thank you. Like, thank you for helping your brother, basically. It could be anything. Like, people spend money on this game every day, and they put in all kinds of time and work, and they want to feel appreciated for that. And that, personally, is what I think is going to keep people the most. Don't just be that hard-ass leader that says bark and jump. You can say bark and jump, but you know what? Thank them after. Show them, send them some gifts. Don't just say do this because it's what we're going to do. Give them a reason, motivation. Give them motivation to do something. And then show your appreciation for it after how motivated they've become to do whatever you and your leadership ask your members to do. It's the human brain. We all got one. Would you not want to feel appreciated for everything you've done? If you go to work or you go out in the streets and you pick up 5 bags of garbage because you feel you're wanting to help the environment. Some people can do it and be like, I don't need appreciation. And those are the people who they usually, they do stuff and, they're well off. They don't need to feel that appreciation, but for 95% of the population, appreciation goes a long way. And it really moves people when someone in more of a role model position shows them that they've noticed what they've done. They've seen that the hard work they put in, and it's not always just a general guild mail. Not always say thank you everyone for your participation in Guildfest. That goes a long way too, because it shows that you as a leader care as a group as a whole, instead of just certain people showing that favoritism. But there are those people that step up every day and prove themselves to be worthy of, that singulated appreciation, I guess. Maybe they're going to go out and hit a bounty in another kingdom for a bill gold. We had someone do this in Rum. They went out and hit someone, rallied for a bill gold, and then brought it back to the family. We did a leader swap, brought it back to the family, and donated all of that to our bank. All that gold. Which in turn helped with the pipeline, feeding researches, and everyone. That was incredible. That was an incredible way to say, hey, here's something for the guild. And, you're like, thank you so, so much. That's a huge help. And when people go out of their way to do things like that, some don't want the appreciation. Some do it, just to help people. But even then, show your appreciation. Tell people you notice they're doing things, the great things, and thank them for it. Send them a gift. Who's one guy? Let's go into our chat quick. See if I can pull an example of a smaller guy trying to step it up. What? You bank res? Also, don't ignore your people. Coding a... There we go. Sin's a good example. Can I give 10? Yeah, there we go. Sin's a great example. He's always stepping up. He's been running a ton of Darkness lately. And he's been, he's an absolute boss to the guild. He was with us for a long time with Rum, and he came over as part of the Jumpstarter. So he's been doing, we have the gem event for the Darkness today. And I'm slacking, obviously. But yeah, it's doing like Gala, doing the Darkness, gems, and woo. So he's been running a lot of nests lately. And I thank him every time he runs one. But sometimes it's better to just absolutely go out of your way and do this. And you just randomly show your appreciation To the people that put the time into your guild, and at the effort they put in, you gotta show people your appreciation for stuff like that. He's put a lot of time. He's earned that 3-day. He's earned 10, 30 days, in my opinion. He's a great asset. Love the guy. And that's it. Appreciation goes further than anything in real life, in the workplace, or in a mobile game. And that's what I think is going to keep people the most. That they know that you see them, and they're noticed, and they're appreciated, they're wanted. They're not just there out of just necessity or want. They can go anywhere, but they're staying with you, and you need to thank them for that. Because there's thousands of guilds in this game, and they chose to hang out with you and make your guild great. You gotta pay that forward. That's the biggest thing. Human psychology is incredible. Whenever you're making big decisions, always take into account the repercussions. How will this affect my people? If you decide to tile someone, you got to think of all your members, all your little guys trying to grow. Is their main reliant tiles for resources? How will that affect them? If you migrate to a kingdom, you're a low-level guild, you migrate to a kingdom with all tilers, how will that affect them? You have to think about these things. You have to think ahead. And not just how can it affect people, how will people think about this? How can it be interpreted? How can my words be twisted possibly into something they're not? And you gotta take everything like that into account when you're typing mails or being diplomatic. When you're speaking with other guilds, you have to be polite. Don't be a dick. Just be polite, like you're talking to someone in a suit next to you. You know, a lot of it's psychology. Knowing how people think, knowing how people are going to think and react is a lot of it. And, you know, a lot of that is honestly where I think a lot of my success as a leader has come from, because I can interpret reactions from people. And that's, you know, when we tried to turn around NC, I said, look, you know what, change your name. I'll tell you that right now, just change your name and you'll see an automatic turnaround. And they changed it to RUN, and within like 3 days and nothing else, no other advice given, nothing. They had like 50 new people. It was incredible. But that's all it is. Now they got to learn how to keep those people and how to improve upon what they have and just keep moving up, and they're doing a great job at that. So shout out to the leadership at RUN for that. You guys are doing great. So, I mean, yeah, that pretty much that covers everything, I think. You know, I had a list I was reading off. If I didn't cover anything that I think should have been covered, maybe I didn't think about it, but that's everything that I could think of and cover that would, you know, lead to a successful guild. And, you know, a lot of it we did with Rum from the beginning. A lot of it I did with other guilds that I've ran and alliances and things in other games. But now with all that, you know how to keep people, you know how to get people, you know how people think, you know where you're going, you know your rules, your chain of command, most importantly, your name. Now you can just improve that. Resources and useful things, not like stone, wood, lumber, whatever. Like resources, like line. Line is huge. Make sure your people have line. When your members have line, it allows you to alert them if they're being rallied. I know We Gamers has that also, but sirens are a pain in the ass, and it takes 2 seconds to tag someone. Give them a call if they're being rallied. Make sure they're online. There's line, and through line, there's like chat bots. The tag all function from like the Laid bot is one of the handiest things that I've ever had. When you're dealing with 400 plus people in multiple groups, it's so handy to just have a feature where you can just say bot tag all, and everyone gets a notification on their phone saying, hey, we have a big war rally going on, let's go. And it doesn't take 20 minutes to tag everyone, right? Through line, you also have watcher groups, event guilds, no chat groups, monster trucks. There's a whole swath in the LM community for stuff like this. And, other games too have it. Iron Throne had a big line community. Ebony did. And, make use of line. It's going to be a really handy friend. Discord is nice for when you are running those big rallies. So, get a hold of those things. When you get a little more established, you're going to want a bank. You're definitely going to want to have a bank to hold all your resources. And to keep everything safe, have 2 or 3 of your most trusted people, even if you know them in real life. Give a couple people access in case they have to hand out resources or reshield if you can't make it. Another big thing, once you do fill your guild and you get rid of all those alts, you have to get rid of, or you need a place for those alts to go for res transfer for the hypers and whatnot. So you want to make an alt guild, just a little throwaway guild to say, hey, these are our alts. So we have one. It's RUA, and it's open, so anyone can jump in, collect res, and leave. Anyone. And you know what? We've had so many instances of our enemies joining in and hitting people, and everyone, they'll cause a minor uproar and be like, oh my god, where were we being hit by family? And we just tell them straight up, it's an open alt guild. If they hit you, they are not our alt or family. It could have been from anyone. They would have hit you anyways. And people get that. So, yeah. That's the gist of it. That's everything I can say from my experience. I was able to write down and think of. Guilds are not easy. They take a lot of time and dedication. So if you're working 12-hour days, you got kids, a wife, family, a dog, a couple cats, and gerbil, don't start a guild. If you're not going to have the time to put into it, don't do it. It's not fair to your members. It's not fair to you. Now that being said, you don't have to be online 24/7, but be on as much as you can. For a long time, I was a very introvert, antisocial person, and I never liked hanging out with people because I had so many awesome people online that I could just hang out with throughout all the games and stuff, so that's where I'm at with that. So this is my experience. I've made guilds. I'm a guild builder, and 9 times out of 10 they work out. So that's my experience. I'm going to depart on you. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. And you know what? We'll quickly, just this video is long enough. It may have to be a 2-parter. I don't know. See what YouTube lets me do. Just a quick summary of everything we covered. The name, how important it is, family, powerful. Your hierarchy, chain of command, your R4s, your duties, responsibilities that they have. Vote on everything. Recruitment, patience, advertise everywhere and use all your social media and make use of the alts. Get rid of all dead weight, non-performers. Don't look at might as anything but just a number. It could just be liquid, and you have smaller guys with better techs. And always make sure people are doing events. Always, always, always number one. Be clear, direct, and enforceful upon your rules, and show no favoritism to anyone. It'll just drive people away. Make sure people know what they can chat about. Be laid back, but just don't allow anything that would offend any, group, people, minority, any racism, anything like that that would just cripple you, basically. And make the rules known, agreed upon. Have it in a line chat posted, just a general page that members can click on to say, what are the rules regarding this? And you could just say, well, there's a whole page right there you can look at. So make that information available. Have a vision for your guild. Where you want to take it, where you want to go, what's your gimmick, what you want to do. You want to hunt, you want to war, you want to be res support, you just want to farm. That's totally up to you. But make sure your guild has the same picture and get people with that common interest. And then, yeah, with that common interest, you got to know how to keep those people. And that's the last point I made, but that was really embedded into the whole thing, was the human mind. Know people, know how they work, and just, yeah, appreciate people. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's going to take me a couple hours to upload, I hope not, but it's the longest video I've ever done. I hope I was able to help people learn something. You know, I hope you enjoyed just sitting here listening to me talk. I enjoy listening to myself talk some days. I haven't made a video in a while. I thought this would be a great topic to cover, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the future for another video. Take care, guys. See you next time.